What is going on, Skol Nation? We have some major movement happening with our roster today that you absolutely need to know about. The front office is shaking things up on the back end, confirming 2 fresh arrivals while saying goodbye to 2 others. It is time to grind and get this team ready for the season, so I am here to break down exactly what these personnel changes mean for our depth chart. You do not want to miss this update, so smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below. Let's dive into the details. The Vikings are making significant adjustments to the back end of their 90-man roster as the 2026 season approaches. In a flurry of activity, the organization has officially announced the additions of tight end Marshall Lang and defensive tackle Javare Ritzie. These roster moves involve clearing space by waiving offensive tackle Caleb Etienne and defensive tackle Munkel Goodwine. As the team evaluates its depth during this critical period, these specific personnel changes highlight the ongoing efforts to refine the roster's composition. Marshall Lang arrives as a blocking-focused tight end, bringing experience from his collegiate career at Northwestern, where he recorded 48 catches for 491 yards and 3 touchdowns across 5 seasons. Standing at 6'4" and 246 pounds, Lang has previously spent time with the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots, marking him as the 3rd former Seahawks player signed by new Vikings GM Nolan Teasley. This connection underscores a strategic focus on familiar personnel within the new administration. Meanwhile, the addition of Javare Ritzie aims to bolster the defensive line unit. Ritzie, a 6'4", 290-pound defender out of UNC, brings notable collegiate production, including 6.5 sacks during his 2024 senior campaign, highlighted by an 84-yard pick six. Notably, 3 of those sacks occurred in a season opener against the Gophers, offering some fans an early glimpse of his disruptive capabilities. After initial stints with the Patriots and most recently the Steelers, Ritzie now looks to integrate into a crowded defensive line room. These transactions indicate a clear effort to maximize competition at both the tight end and defensive tackle positions, forcing players currently on the roster to prove their value before the final cuts. Skol. The roster movement remains a constant dynamic as the team continues its evaluation process. The arrival of Marshall Lang specifically impacts the current tight end hierarchy in Minnesota. Lang joins a room already consisting of TJ, Hawkinson, Josh Oliver, Ben Urasek, Gavin Bartholomew, and Bryson Nesbitt. Given his background as a primary blocking option, his skill set offers a different utility compared to the existing depth chart members. This addition is significant because it provides the coaching staff with a specialized tool for different offensive packages as the team prepares for the upcoming season. While Lang has navigated practice squads in New England and Seattle, his presence here is defined by his consistency in college, where he logged between 11 and 15 receptions in every full season. For the Vikings, this matters because having versatile depth at tight end is essential for managing the physical demands of a full campaign. The competition for roster spots among the tight end group is now intensified, as every player must demonstrate their ability to contribute on special teams or in specific schematic roles to secure a spot on the final 53-man roster. The team's decision to pursue Lang, largely due to the connection with GM Nolan Teasley, indicates an ongoing evaluation of how past experience in specific systems can translate into the current team identity. As the 90-man roster sits at its limit, every move carries weight, and the inclusion of Lang suggests a commitment to ensuring that the blocking requirements for the position are adequately addressed. With Hawkinson and Oliver leading the unit, the remaining players are in a direct battle to prove they offer enough utility to remain with the organization. The depth chart is fluid, and the addition of another body with professional experience like Lang confirms that no spot is guaranteed, keeping the intensity high across the entire training period. Javare Ritzie's entry into the defensive line rotation brings a new element of production to a unit already comprised of Jalen Redmond, Caleb Banks, Levi Drake Rodriguez, Tyrion Ingram Dawkins, Dominique Orange, Elijah Williams, Eric Johnson II, Isaiah Loudermilk, Taki Taimani, and Smith Vilbert. His performance during his senior season at UNC, where he recorded 6.5 sacks and a forced fumble, demonstrates a level of disruptiveness that the Vikings are clearly interested in evaluating at the NFL level. Having previously been with the Patriots and Steelers, Ritzie is no stranger to the professional transition, and his physical stature at 290 pounds fits the profile of a player capable of holding his own in the interior trenches. For a defensive line that is currently evaluating a high volume of players, Ritzy's ability to impact the game, as seen in his multi-sack performance against Minnesota rivals, makes him an intriguing prospect during these off-season workouts. The decision to bring him in now is a direct response to the need for high-ceiling talent on the defensive front. This matters because it shifts the competition level among the depth players who are fighting for a place in the rotation. With so many players competing for reps, the addition of someone with Ritzy's specific 2024 breakout stats forces the rest of the group to elevate their performance. The defensive line is a position group where consistent pressure and depth are paramount, and the scouting department is clearly prioritizing players who have shown the capability to force turnovers and provide interior pressure. Ritzy's integration into the defense is a pivotal step in narrowing down the defensive front to those who can execute the scheme effectively when the season officially arrives. The departure of Munkel Goodwine and Caleb Etienne serves as the necessary counterweight to these new additions. Goodwine, who joined the team as an undrafted free agent from South Carolina, had previously been part of the Alabama program and provided the team with another option at defensive tackle, recording 4 tackles for loss during his 2025 season. His release, alongside the departure of Caleb Etienne, highlights the competitive nature of the 90-man roster limits. Etienne, a massive offensive tackle standing 6'7" and 329 pounds, arrived in December of 2025 following time with the Cincinnati Bengals and a standout career at Oklahoma State and BYU. As a former All-Big 12 selection, Etienne brought significant size to the offensive tackle unit, which currently includes Ryan Vandemark, rookie Caleb Tiernan, Walter Rouse, and Tristan Lee. By waiving these players, the organization is making targeted room for the new acquisitions of Lang and Ritzy, effectively signaling that the front office is prioritizing the specific skill sets and recent professional track records of the incoming athletes. The decision to move on from Etienne is particularly notable given his size and the investment the team made when signing him to the practice squad last winter. However, the current offensive tackle room remains well stocked with younger, developing talent. These moves are strictly operational, reflecting the reality that every roster slot must be optimized. The removal of Goodwine and Etienne provides the flexibility required to bring in Lang and Ritzy, allowing the team to test new variables. This cycle of adding and subtracting talent is an inherent part of managing the 90-man roster, ensuring that the personnel available for training camp aligns with the current evaluation criteria set forth by the staff. These roster changes conclude a series of adjustments that have reshaped the back end of the Vikings lineup. By bringing in Marshall Lang and Javari Ritzy while parting ways with Caleb Etienne and Munkel Goodwine, the team is actively curating its talent pool to ensure the most effective players are present for critical evaluations. The integration of Lang, a player who possesses both college experience and professional practice squad exposure, offers the team more versatility in their tight end blocking schemes, which complements the existing depth behind TJ Hawkinson and Josh Oliver. Simultaneously, the inclusion of Ritzy on the defensive line adds a proven playmaker from the 2024 collegiate ranks, someone whose ability to pressure the quarterback was on full display against Minnesota opponents. The departure of Goodwine and Etienne underscores the intense internal competition required to earn a spot in the professional ranks. As these new players join the fold, the coaching staff and front office will be looking for immediate signs of adaptation and performance consistency. The depth at both offensive tackle and defensive line remains a focal point, and the organization is using this period to ensure that every roster position is held by a player capable of fulfilling specific needed roles. These actions are driven by the goal of optimizing the 90-man group before the next phase of the offseason begins. For the players remaining, the message is clear. Roster spots are subject to constant review based on performance and fit. The Vikings are continuing their systematic approach to roster construction, ensuring that each new arrival serves a calculated purpose within the wider structure of the team. As the focus shifts to training and development, the impact of these specific personnel decisions will become more apparent during the upcoming practice sessions and eventual roster reductions.